Okay, welcome back. In this video, we'll continue from where we stopped. We were able to basically parse the data that comes from our Google Sheets. We're able to parse it using some JavaScript in the previous video. I hope I didn't botch the explanation too much, right? I hope you were able to understand it for those that don't really know how to code, right? Yeah, so we're able to parse that information. Now we want to basically, capture the user's response, because the user would like to order one of these options, right? So we want to capture one of these, capture the user's response based off of the options that have been given. So obviously we're going to use the capture step. So we can just drag that here. Just drag that here, right? Well, you know what? We can, since it's a message, we can easily just move it here, right? So we have that capture step there, and then we can use this and then name this as order, right? And then we can make this a key phrase, right? Then create the entity. Now for this order, so what we can do is that we need to let the AI know, right, that this order consists of both the name and the price, right? So I have already run this flow before, and if you run it now, you'll find out that it's sometimes outputs the order to have just the name of the food alone. It leaves out the price, but we need the price so that we can calculate the total price later on, right? And yeah, so you need to set a rule for the AI to know that, okay, this is the case. So we can say something like the order consists of the name of the food and the price. That's one. Then another thing to note in this scenario is that people might not necessarily say the name of the food, but they may say the number of, like, I want what is on number 2 or row 2 of the menu, right? So you want the AI to also be able to capture that kind of information. So you could say something like, if the customer chooses the name or number of the food, use the price in dollars attached to that food or number, right? Now that's that about that. Then one last thing, okay, before we go into that last part, we'll come back to that later. For now, I think we have more than enough information for our needs. So now the next thing, after capturing the order, okay, let's print that. Let's just be sure that everything we've done so far makes sense. So we can print that. So let's print this now. So we just drag this here. Then we can now say something like your order is order, right? So let's run this from the beginning. So select lunch again. So if I say I want a salad, so it says your order is salad for $3.5. So that is correct. So now we can basically, let's remove this, let's delete it, and then we can use a set step now to come and extract the price. Remember I mentioned that we needed to take out the price, right? So we will do this, just drag this here. Now variables to set, we will create a new variable called price. Create variable called price. Create the variable, and then this value we will set now. We will set this okay, sorry. Apologies for that. That's an error. So we're gonna use the prompt step for the prompt set for this scenario. So we use the value, we use the expression. Now it's time for us to use the prompt. So we're gonna use the prompt to set. So now apply output to. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do is to write a prompt. So what that prompt is just basically an instruction. So the instruction would be for the AI to extract the price from the order that we just parsed, right? That we just accepted from the user. So it will extract that price, and then it will assign that price to a variable. So the variable that we've already created a price variable, so we'll assign it to the price variable. Now the prompt that we're going to use, let's create that prompt. Now I have the prompt here, so I can just copy and paste it. So we have the system prompt. This basically tells the AI its role. So you extract prices from food orders. This is all you do. You do not add any context or give any other response, right? Then proceed. Then we can then come here and add this for. Okay, let's remove this order. Right, so this will extract the. So you're telling the user now. So you're the user telling the AI now extract the price from the order. The order is given below, right? Remember, we already have order in the workflow, so that's why you're able to see it in this color. Then do not give any other answer. Blah blah blah. Basically the same thing, right? So you've given the AI a command, and then you've asked it to assign it to the variable called price. It's saying untitled prompt. I don't like that, so let's edit that. Instead of untitled prompt, let's say it is price extraction prompt. That's more intuitive, right? Okay, great. So the next thing now would be for us to proceed to take the user's name so that we can know who is attached to this order. But before we go there, there's one other thing that we need to do. So we have been able to extract the price, and we've been able to extract the order. Now, what if we have multiple orders? That means we would have more than one price and more than one order. That would imply that we need a total price variable. And that would also imply that we need an orders variable, right? So we would have price, we would have order, both singular, then we would have total price and orders, right? Total price is still singular, but I mean, it's a compound now, like you've added more values together, but then orders is plural. So we can do that now. So we'll see how we would use these variables very soon. So one thing that you can do in Voiceflow is to create variables and just let them be within the system, right? So I don't know how to describe that, but like, let me just show you. So just set. Then we can just come here and say, create a new variable, call it total price, create the variable and assign it to nothing. Then create another variable sorry, not this, yeah, orders. So create that variable as well, right? So that's will be that about that. So now we don't, so now we can always reference total price or orders anywhere within our workflow. We do not need to have this here at all, so we can just delete this now. Yeah, so now let's add a bit of JavaScript, right? So I know we're adding a lot of code this time, but yeah. So we just get the JavaScript step again, and we can keep it in the same block actually as this, you know, just to make it more compact, and then we can paste our JavaScript here. So basically what we're doing now is that we're saying, okay, this price, the price value that we've had already within the system, right? It's a string, right? It's, you know, it's a string. So basically you can use a method called .replace on it. So that replaces the $sign with nothing, meaning that it removes the $sign. And then we then have the total price to be equal to something called parse float. So this is another function in JavaScript that basically converts, let's say, a string to a number, right? Then we can then also say total price is equals to is equals to parse floats of price. So basically what this does is that it takes any value of price, any new value of price, and adds it to total price, right? So any new order you make, the price of that order gets added to total price. That's basically what all this does. Then we have the one that works with the order. So if orders does not exist, or orders.length, that is the length of the orders, is equal to 0, then, so this is 3 equal to signs here, right? So let me demonstrate that. Equal to, equal to, equal to. So those are 3 equal to signs, in case you were wondering. And then you can then say orders equals this order here, right? So that is if the orders does not exist, or if orders does not exist, or orders is the length of orders is 0, right? Then we should equate the latest order to orders. Else, if order already exists, right, then we should just simply append the latest order to the previous orders. So that's basically what this JavaScript is doing. Now, after this, we can, yeah, so with this I think we're good. We can then proceed to take the customer's name, and then attach it to the order, and then after that we will then, you know, basically calculate the total price, which is something we already know. We will parse all the information that we have now, and then show it to the user, right, that this is their final order before writing it to the Google Sheet, right? So that's what we'll do in the next video. Thank you very much for watching so far, and yeah, we will test what we've done so far today in this particular section, right, in the next video. All right, then, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day.